Hello and welcome everyone, Firestarter here, bringing you some more replay casts. Now, I did ask AmberT for some replays a while back, and he did send me a massive folder with 18 games that I had to go over, so I did spend some time on that, and I selected a bunch of nice games that I found quite enjoyable for you, so consider this kind of a mini-series, because most of the games were against Faust, which is I think currently the Field Marshal, don't quote me on that. So yeah, I've selected 6 games out of those 18 that I really found enjoyable, and they all happen to be against Faust, so yeah, I will do like a mini-series sort of thing, and I hope you guys like it. And without further ado, on the red side we do have General AmberT playing his mixed mechanized, what I believe, and on team 1 we do have Faust playing a USSR deck, if I'm not mistaken, and they're playing on nuclear winner, but I guess you kind of already knew that, so let's just speed up until we get some action going. And I've been reading your feedback considering my casts, and I'd just like to say that it's impossible for me to please everyone. The reason I keep it on ×2 is because Dirty complained that my casts were boring and that I should speed them up, and also some people like the fact that it saves time when you do ×2, and it's also nice to I forgot what I was gonna say, never mind. Yeah, and the other thing is, the reason I normally keep it so zoomed out is because when I watch other people's casts, I usually hate the fact that they focus on one thing so zoomed in, and I don't really know what else is going on. And I also got requests to actually zoom in and not keep it so zoomed out all the time, but we'll see what happens. Anyways, in the meantime, we do have Faust pushing up some BTRs here. Meanwhile, he is dropping an Mi-24D in the back there, but it looks like his main efforts will be to go for Charlie, looks like, because AmberT has a nice little initiative in Delta, plopping down FJB 40s, some Strellas, and some Mi-24s and stuff, but he is not really defending Charlie all that well. And meanwhile on the well, I guess this is the north side. It says so with an arrow. What would this be? That's east, right? I'm terrible, I'm sorry. Yeah, it looks like AmberT has plopped down a nice selection of units, considering Faust has kind of opted to bluff there, only having a GRU to just spot if something is happening. But considering the bulk of the action is happening here, we can just zoom in a bit, and if things happen on other fronts, we can always shift focus there. So we do have this Mi-24 defending, but it's just not enough, and as you can see, there's only infantry trying to stop all this. But Faust having a really nice unit combo. I think his Tunguska here was taken out by what were Conqueresses here. I'm not too sure, but I think so when I looked at the replay the first time I recall. And yeah, so AmberT rallying out some T-72s for defense. We can go ×1 here for the people yelling at me. And at the meantime, AmberT taking advantage of his situation here, deciding to push up. So we do have Faust pushing up here, and AmberT in the meantime pushing on the eastern side there. So yeah, those Spetsnaz GRUs, let's just quickly see what they're doing while they're fighting here. I mean, as you can see, AmberT is well aware of how people play 1v1s, has Iglas all over the place, does have some units scattered out just to see what's going on. So I doubt these guys will really do much, but just to let you know what's happening. Meanwhile, there's some action in Delta as well. So both players attacking all over the place, or rather AmberT is attacking in Foxtrot and Delta. Meanwhile, Faust is just focusing in Charlie here. B1 does go down to the Syria, and AmberT mopping up Delta pretty well, so he has the advantage there. If he chose to, he could just fortify this and maybe even go for Alpha, considering there's nothing there, but of course he does not know that. So most of AmberT's defensive troops here have been wiped out. These BTR-90s are going to push up, but I doubt they're going to really stand up to the T-72. As you can see, he goes down, and with the action slowing down a bit, I'm just going to go ×2 to save time and try to balance this because yeah, I'm pretty new to casting, so suggestions are welcome. So Faust getting that Tunguska back here, and AmberT deciding to go for a cutoff, I'm assuming, pushing up with his FJBs, but I think the BRDM is gonna catch that one out. So he probably won't do much there. He should really push up in Foxtrot though. I think he's assuming that there's a lot more here. If he just probed with some ZSDs, maybe he could really see what was going on there. Let's just quickly shift focus and see what. Yeah, as you can see, he has quite a nice unit composition here. Maybe he could just send his Anshi up, keep a T-72 and the ZSDs in a fire support role, and he could completely take Foxtrot because he's under enormous pressure in Charlie. And if he can take Foxtrot and Delta, he can make up for the fact that he's lost Charlie. Actually, can he? Faust puts a CV and that's +4. Yeah, I guess he has to contain it though. So doesn't really look good for AmberT so far. Let's speed it up again and see how both players choose to go on from here. Because Faust is in a solid position if he can completely contain Charlie. Oh, I do apologize. Looks like AmberT has chosen to go for Foxtrot. Let's switch perspective again because nope, he's reluctant. He's going back. But yeah, as I said, if he had these vehicles in a fire support role, like if they were actually shooting the Spetsnaz, could have moved up there. Really unfortunate for AmberT because he could have taken that zone by now, maybe like 10 times over or something. I don't know. We do have more Motor Schützens, more T-72s rallying out. And neither player using supply trucks. I mean, this B1 is badly damaged and they're both running out of fuel. I also disagree with having your tanks in a double stack like that. It's just much more effective to micro them individually. Also, they die to bombers pretty easily like this when they're blobbed up and shit. But what do I know? We do have more aggressive plays coming out from Faust, pushing up with these VDVs, but they're getting caught up by the transports, the Motor Schützens and the T-72s, providing some nice fire support there. More T-72s coming out, of course. And we do have a MiG, probably going for the T-72s, considering there's nothing else. Oh, well, never mind. Takes both of those out, so that's a nice little strike there for Faust. Not like he really needs plays at the moment, because he's at a solid +2 tech. AmberT should be really gathering up CVs for Delta and whatever this zone is. I can't really read the name now because I'm a bit too zoomed in. But FJB's here getting caught up by the Morskaya up at Hoda, so they're not gonna last very long. Although that was kind of nice though, trying to probe and always, you know, exploiting your opponent's gaps is pretty good shit. We do have more MiGs rallied out, so let's slow down now and see how this little battle here ends up going. Because we do have a big push coming up for AmberT, but it's mostly infantry, and they're not even the 90 version of the Motor Schützens, so they're gonna have some trouble dealing with these B1s. But the T-72As at close range are more than enough to pick these off, considering one of them is extremely badly damaged. So yeah, so far good progress coming out from AmberT. He really needs to take out these B1s though. You can see there's 3 now, so that's a lot. But yeah, I just think he's over-investing in these cheap infantry. And of course, being AmberT, he never has any AA. That's kind of funny. But we do have Faust rallying out some BTRDs with, I'm assuming those are VDVs up there, just to put some defenses there. T-72 is missing 170%, the other 56%, and of course it's like my Chinese tanks reincarnated into Rossov and whatever that other guy's name was. But these VDVs are just in a perfect spot to prevent them from moving up, and this B1 picking up the rest of that fire support, and the last T-72 goes down. VDV in a nice little cutoff position there, but these Motor Schützens now are just completely unsupported, and they're just gonna die either to a bomber or just overwhelming odds here. because they can't deal with the B1's lack of AP, and I mean they can't deal with the VDV, it's just that they're suppressed and really in a not good position at the moment. So we can zoom out a bit, speed up once again. Faust, rallying out a bit more infantry with BTR 90s. That will be a perfect counter to these motor shits. And let me just check how much AP they have. 14 AP, and this shit has 2 front armor. I don't know the maths behind this, but I'm assuming they can't really kill BTR 90s that easily. And we do have a spam of T-72s coming out now for AmberT, desperately trying to hold Charlie, and never mind, that actually took that out. Let me just check, was that a sight shot? Yeah. No, it wasn't even this. Where did it die? Alright, never mind, fuck it. So yeah. Meanwhile, we do have a push coming out here, about time, but I think this is a bit too late coming out from AmberT. He definitely should have pushed up way sooner, because as you can see now, this is being reinforced by Faust. It will just make his push a lot more difficult. But yeah, if he can take Hotel, take Foxtrot, take Delta, I mean he's already got pretty much map control all over except his 2-point zone. Let's just switch it back for now. And then just try and neutralize Charlie, maybe hold this forest line and these little blocks here, he should be good. But looking at the timer, I don't think he's really gonna opt for that choice. We'll just have to see how he plays this out. Let's speed up a bit, pay attention here and here. I mean, there's just a lot of shit happening all over the map, and I want to show you guys all of the action, which is the reason why I keep this so zoomed out at times. Looks like those, what were there? GRUs kinda got wrecked. So the VDV remain. I'm gonna switch back here because there's not really much happening there now. And correction, we do have supply trucks finally being rallied out at the 22-minute mark by Faust. Looks like he's going to finally refuel and repair his B1s. And yeah, AmberT taking control of Foxtrot, but as I said, it's just way too late. He definitely could have used the initiative much sooner. Throw Faust off guard, force him to either ditch Foxtrot, which would give AmberT a free +1 tick, or force him to spend points in that, which are points not spent on Charlie, and that's just kept on too long, which I think was AmberT's fatal flaw this game. We have a BU being rallied out by Faust. That's gonna mark his presence in Charlie for good, I think, because mechanized decks don't really have something punchy to take out BUs with, other than ATGM jets maybe, or things like that. So yeah. And solid use by these MiGs though, I have to admit. Let's just slow this down a bit for the final battle. Maybe AmberT completely takes the zone and Faust decides to surrender, I don't know. I'm not spoiling anything. We do have this MiG taking out a T-72A, going down, but it doesn't matter. I think if it's the same one, it's paid for itself already, like 10 times over. And these VDVs should go down pretty easily to this masked motor shits and attack here. But the BU on the flank taking out these T-72As, it's really just uncontested. And now the B1's going back in action, and they weren't prepared, so I don't think Faust actually managed his logistics. I think he left all 3 of them on, so they were unevenly spread. And as you can see, they're just going down now. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered if they were on full HP, because Syrias are crazy OP. Actually managed to survive as well. B1 died by, I'm assuming it was the T-72A. Didn't really see, sorry. But yeah, this BU is now a massive problem for AmberT, even though he's made nice progress. But as you can see, Faust is still at a +1, and mainly because AmberT has not unloaded his CV here. Not +1, +3, I'm sorry, I really don't know what I'm talking about at times. But mainly because of the fact that he has a CV in Charlie, and that's just huge. I don't know what AmberT is doing with his CV. He definitely should unload it, but I don't think it really matters at this point. Which is really unfortunate, because if he had a CV in Charlie, Foxtrot, and Delta, he could have had this. I mean, he's pushing Faust out. Let's zoom in a bit more. See what's happening. T-72A getting wrecked by everything that's on the ground here, and in the air as well. And we do have a final attack coming out from AmberT in Foxtrot. Nice job taking this zone though, definitely. But then again, Faust chose to abandon it. So these VDVs should go down. But yeah, as I said, I mean, Faust is, he's way in the lead, and that's game over. Concluding round 1 of Faust versus AmberT. Faust taking the lead so far. As you can see, the kills are very even though. So that was a close game, and yeah, quite like that one. I mean, it kind of showed a difference of playstyles there, and I just definitely think AmberT should have invested more in CVs. Maybe he could have had this game if he played that a bit better. But still, I mean, well played by both players, and I hope you guys like it, and I'll see you next time.